Okay, so you have the blueprints. Now it's time to lay down the structure for your financial future. There are 5 big action steps, so get ready to push up your sleeves and do some work. This one's going to be a more challenging module. The first thing you're going to do is, 1, you're going to go to the bank and you're going to set up 4 accounts. You're going to set up a checking account. That's going to be for your essentials, 50% of your paycheck, and you can follow the worksheet if this is helpful. You're going to set up a second checking account. That's going to be for your lifestyle, 30% of your paycheck. And then along with your checking accounts, you'll have a savings account. I throw 20% of my paycheck into that. That's my future account. And then I'm going to have the second savings account. That's my emergency fund. And that's 3 times your monthly rent and utilities. That's 3 times what you cost in order to make it. You most likely already have at least 1 checkings and savings account. So if so, this is great. You're still going to want to open up that other one so that you can be certain the accounts are not touched. You want to make sure that there are a couple of accounts that you just don't mess with it. And I promise you, it's so much easier when you just have everything separated out so you know exactly what each thing needs. So if you have any problems with setting up that second account, I've never had any problems with this, but if you have, send me an email and we can discuss any other options if you need to figure out an alternative. The second thing you're going to do, second action step, is you're going to get an online banking account. And this is not separate from your regular bank account. What this means is you're able to do online banking. So for example, through Wells Fargo, I'm able to log into my account online and I'm able to see how much money is in all of my accounts. I'm able to do transfers from there. And what you're going to do once you're in your accounts, you're going to relabel your accounts so they actually read essentials, 50%, lifestyle, 30%, future, 20%, emergency fund, and you're going to put that number, you remember from your worksheet, that number that you have as a goal for your emergency fund in there. You're actually going to put that as your label, and this is just going to make life so much easier. Then when you deposit money, you know exactly how to divvy it out. So usually what I'll do is I'll go to the bank, I'll deposit my money into the essentials account, for example. Then I do my math, and I transfer X amount of money into the other accounts until everything's divvied out perfectly. Make sense? So what do you do with the money you currently have in your account? You're going to divvy up your current money as such by referring to worksheet number 3's appropriate spending column. You want to fill up your essentials checking account to the amount listed that you had. So basically that 50%. You're going to fill up your lifestyles account at 30%. You're going to fill up your emergency fund to 3 times your appropriate rent. If you have anything left over at this point, you can put that into your future account, but chances are you're going to want to keep that in your emergency fund for now. That future account we're going to hold off on until a little bit later in our modules. Make sense? Okay, so don't sacrifice that 30% on the lifestyle section or you'll cave. It really is worth it. That's something that comes up a lot. People think, I'll cut back. And again, it's back to that binge dieting. That lifestyle section is what keeps you going and keeps fueling your engine so you have the energy to put a little bit aside here and there. This is for eating out. This is for movies. It's for your gym membership. It's for your lifestyle. It's for you still being able to live a little bit now. So whatever that is, you still need that 30% of your paycheck to do that. It's really just about being more moderate and living in moderation and living still, again, within your means. But now let's move on to credit cards. First, you're going to want to find out what your interest rates are on each of your cards. You're literally going to line up your cards, line them up, and you may need to check some old statements or actually call the number on the back of your card. And I know this seems really silly, but let me break it down for you. If you have $100 in debt on that card and you have a 25% interest rate, they're charging you another $25 per month on top of that $100 debt if you're not paying it off. So now you owe $125. So I mean, if you have like a grand on there, if you had $1,000 and then you owe at 25%, you owe an extra $250 a month, now you owe $1,250. That is crazy. So we want to get rid of that debt as fast as possible. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep your lowest interest rate credit card. Before you've filled up your emergency fund, this is going to serve as your emergency fund. Again, same rules as your actual emergency fund. When you do have that emergency fund filled up, you're going to cut up that card. As far as all of your other credit cards, the high interest rate ones, cut those babies up. Cut them up. Cut them up. Right now, I'll give you time. You cut them up? Very nice. So when you don't have these cards right there in front of you, it's a lot harder to use them. That was it for me. If I have it, I'm going to use it. So I better not have it on me. What you're going to do is you're only going to spend from your lifestyle account. So whatever your debit card is for that account, that's the card you're allowed to have on you. Everything else, you cannot have on you. That's the only one allowed in your purse. That's the only one allowed in your wallet. So you're going to write checks for bills and utilities from your essentials account. Okay, right? Makes sense? Bills, utilities, your rent check, that's all going to come from your essentials account. You're not going to have cash. Remember that conversation? You're not going to hold on to any credit cards, and you're only going to spend money from that one debit card. This will really help you understand how you're spending money. Okay, that's it. Here's a quick review. You're going to want to set up 4 bank accounts and separate them out by category: essentials, lifestyle, future, and emergency fund. You're going to set up online management so you know exactly what's in each account. You can transfer funds really easily as needed. And while you're at it, you're going to relabel those accounts so it's much easier for you to keep up with them. Got it? Then you're going to fill up your accounts according to your appropriate spending budget. Take a look at that so you know exactly what you have in there. And again, this is the reality, so take a good look at how much money is actually in those accounts. I want you to really wrap your brain around it and think about, what do I need to do differently now that this is my new reality? Got it? Then you're going to cut up those high interest rate credit cards and just keep that one until your emergency fund is set. And then you're going to start only using that one debit card for your lifestyle account. No more cash, no more credit. Just don't do it. And by the way, how much money do you have in that lifestyle account for this month? That's a biggie. And so I'll be honest, this first month is going to be really tough. It's been easy to impulsively spend using those credit cards. So it's going to be tough not wanting to reach for the credit card. But I promise you it's worth it. And oh, by the way, that extra credit card that you're keeping, that emergency fund credit card, you put that someplace in your house. You put that in an envelope and you seal that envelope so that you know you're not going to use that unless you really, 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 really need it. You got it? You're not going to keep that in your purse. Cool? All right, give yourself a breather. Again, you don't have to do this all overnight. If you need to watch this video again to make sure you were able to finish all the steps, feel free to do that. And if you really want to hear me talk even more. And when you're ready, go ahead and let's head on into module number 6.